Well, a really stupid idea, at least in my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree. You remember the Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban talks to Alabama boosters about how A&M is buying their class.
I heard about that story.
And he said that they weren't buying their class, and Jimbo Fisher the next day has a press conference, which, as we learned, Greg Sankey knew about, didn't put a stop to, and Jimbo Fisher roasted Nick Saban with a couple of lies on his own. Anyway, it was a bit of a saga, good off-season conversation, whatever, a couple news cycles, maybe a column or two. Paul Feinbaum is writing a book about that.
Yeah.
Like a whole book, not a column, not a short story or, what is it, a limerick? I don't know.
There once was a man from College Station.
Yeah. Now, he's writing a book about it, and they're going to do some other NIL stuff in the book.
NIL was a source of frustration.
But the book is going to be about Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher having press conferences where they were mean to each other, and then everything became fine afterwards.
Borky,
an entire book about it.
I'm afraid there's some backstory that you're too young to know here. And this is not me talking down to you. Like, literally, I don't think you're old enough to remember this. Circa late 90s, when Paul Feinbaum was simply a columnist before he had a radio show that anybody knew about, before he was on the SEC network, you could go into just about any bookstore or sporting goods store in the Southeast, and you could find a small book written by Paul Feinbaum. And the title of the book was I Hate Fill in the Blank and 100 Reasons You Should Too.
Yep.
There was an Alabama version and an Auburn version, an Ole Miss version and a State version, a Clemson version and South Carolina version, Florida State, over and over and over. I mean, it was like bad, you might be a redneck if jokes.
Yes.
How many does it take to screw in a light bulb type stuff? I mean, it was really...
It was rednecks for us and snobs for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very, very low-hanging fruit, but I'm sure it was profitable low-hanging fruit. And so, with that literary genius on his resume, does this really surprise you that Paul Feinbaum would write this book?
Two things can be true at the same time.
Yes, they can.
Very true.
He's probably going to sell some of these, and capitalism is good. I support it. If you can make money, go make money. However, you can make money as long as you're not breaking the law. That's fine. But if you buy this book, what is wrong with you?
It's like books.
You need...
The demographic that's going to buy this book don't like books, okay? Let's be honest about that.
Don't like books.
Wow.
It's going to sit on their bookshelf, and they're not going to crack it
you think
open.
the people who try to get a picture would buy a copy of this book?
This one, no.
Yeah, okay.
No, if there was like an Ole Miss version of it, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm amazed by the books that people will buy. Right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, somebody is going to write a book about this season for Ole Miss baseball.
Yeah.
And it will be available by November 1st if they're smart.
Yeah.
And they'll sell 5,000 of them for Christmas stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
At
$20.
$18.95, $24.95, whatever it is. That's a market I understand.
Yeah.
What's the market for this book? I understand John Talty's Nick Saban book. He goes sell a bunch of those.
It'd be one thing if, like, they were really going to get into some of the dirt, right? Like, when Jimbo Fisher said this about Nick Saban, he was talking about these situations.
Yeah.
We talked to former players, and they all said, oh, yeah, Saban did all this.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have receipts?
Yeah. Then I'm buying the book.
If this book's going to have receipts, then I'm in.
The main analyst for the SEC Network will not reveal anything in this book that you don't already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
It'll probably be well written, though.
Probably. Hey, some books get written at a third grade level. Some books get written at a high school level.
Yeah.
Just depends on who's writing it.
Would you rather read it in like story form or like poem form?
Poem would be better.
There once was a man named Jimbo.
What do they call those, ballads?
No.
Long poems? What do they call
It's like
long poems?
Sonnets.
Sonnets?
Yeah, sure.
Psalms?
No, that's something different.
Yeah, well,
The limerick had the most potential.
Like Beowulf. What is Beowulf?
It's an epic.
Epic. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to write an epic.
it's got a rhyme though.
Yeah, I agree. I need like 10 minutes to sit down. I can't do
There once was a guy named Nick who decided that he would pick on a fella down the road named Jimbo.
There's only one word that rhymes with Jimbo. I can't make it work. I got a great joke, but I can't tell it either.
Yeah. David says epic. Where did y'all go to school? LOL.
Where did you go to school, Dave?
My English teacher in high school was also the wide receivers coach. You want to know how much he cared about teaching English to us?
Oh, I had great English teachers.
I didn't. And I appreciated it, though, because, I mean, statute of limitations, right? You can't take my high school diploma away. Mm-hmm. I didn't even go to, like, a football factory high school. Like, we were good, but we weren't Burns, which was our version of South Panola back in the day. They steered the football team to the coaches' classes to make sure that we didn't have any grade casualties. Okay, so my high school education was that.
Yeah. Miss Bigham in 8th grade, rest her soul. Miss Stone in 9th grade. No, Dr. McClellan in 9th grade. Miss Stone in 10th grade. Dr. Murkison, rest her soul, in 11th grade.
Well, there you go.
I had good college
and Miss
English
Webb, my
professors.
senior year. I think that was right. I think that was all the English teachers along the way.
And then I was lucky enough to be taught by Curtis Wilkie in college. He wasn't an English professor, but it felt like it.
Yeah, one of the greatest writers of
he looked
about
at
3 generations.
He looked at journalism writing differently, and it was brilliant. And I didn't feel worthy to be in his class based on how much I paid attention.
If you covered the entire world as the lead, like, what, war correspondent or just business correspondent for the Boston Globe,